Every morning, millions of people worldwide perform the same ritual. They drink coffee and wait to feel energized. They describe the sensation as being recharged or refueled. They credit the beverage with giving them the capacity to function. This is a cognitive error. You are not refueling the system. You are shutting off the alarm system. Fatigue is not a weakness or a personal failure. It is your brain's built-in warning siren, telling you the facility is running low on resources and needs downtime to recover. When you drink caffeine, you are not adding power to the machine. You are simply forcing the control room to stop broadcasting the warning signals. The engine is still worn. The battery is still low. The system is still overdue for maintenance. You just can't hear the alarms anymore, so you keep working as if everything is fine. You assume this dark, bitter liquid is a fuel source. You believe you are pouring premium gasoline into the engine. Biologically, you have provided zero fuel. Caffeine contains 0 calories, 0 carbohydrates, 0 proteins, 0 fats. It is not an energy substrate. It cannot be burned for ATP production in any cellular pathway known to human metabolism. Your cells cannot extract power from caffeine. Your mitochondria cannot process it. Your body cannot convert it into glucose, fatty acids, or any usable form of biochemical energy. What you experience as an energy boost is not energy being added to the system. It is the perception of fatigue being surgically removed from your conscious awareness. You have simply walked into the control room and aggressively cut the wires to your own check engine light. I am Dr. Robert. Let us review the sabotage. Your brain is a biochemical factory that operates continuously. Like all factories, it produces waste. The primary metabolic byproduct of neural activity is a molecule called adenosine. Every time a neuron fires, every time you process a thought, every time you encode a memory, adenosine is released as a metabolic residue. As adenosine accumulates throughout the day, it binds to specific receptors on the surface of your neurons. Think of these receptors as specialized docking ports built specifically for adenosine molecules. When enough adenosine locks into these receptors, they activate a very straightforward signal: you are tired. Cease operations. Initiate shutdown protocols. This is the brain's internal exhaustion sensor. It is a clean, reliable system that has been operating in vertebrate nervous systems for hundreds of millions of years. Caffeine molecules are shaped almost identically to adenosine molecules. The molecular geometry is so similar that your adenosine receptors cannot distinguish between them. When you drink coffee, caffeine floods into your bloodstream, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and immediately begins plugging into those same adenosine receptors. But here is the critical operational detail. Caffeine fits into the receptor without activating it. It occupies the keyhole without turning the lock. The brain's exhaustion sensors are now jammed with fake keys. The adenosine is still accumulating. The metabolic waste is still piling up on the factory floor. Your neurons are still expending energy. Your brain is still generating the exact same quantity of fatigue-inducing byproducts. You are not operating with more energy. You have simply blinded the monitoring system. The garbage is still there. Management just cannot see it anymore. You are not more alert. You are simply unable to perceive your own structural exhaustion. The tiredness has not disappeared. It has been rendered invisible to your conscious awareness. Now, the brain encounters a significant operational paradox. For hours, it has been producing adenosine waste that should be triggering fatigue signals. But suddenly, no fatigue signals are coming through. The sensors are completely offline. The pituitary gland, essentially the facility's central management office, runs a very basic diagnostic. If we are not detecting any exhaustion markers, and we are still awake and active, something catastrophic must be happening. The only logical explanation for feeling zero tiredness in the middle of a high-activity work cycle is that we are in mortal danger. The interpretation is reasonable. In evolutionary terms, if you are tired but do not feel tired, you are probably running from something that wants to kill you. The survival override has kicked in, so it triggers an emergency response. It sends chemical instructions to the adrenal gland, two small hormone-producing organs sitting on top of your kidneys, to immediately release adrenaline and cortisol into the system. The factory alarms are now blaring, not because there is a fire, not because there is an actual threat, But because the monitoring sensors went completely offline and the facility's emergency protocols defaulted to maximum security threat response, your heart rate increases to pump more oxygenated blood to your muscles. Your pupils dilate to improve visual threat detection. Blood flow redirects from your digestive organs to your skeletal muscles, preparing them for explosive movement. Glucose floods your bloodstream to provide immediate fuel for physical exertion. Your hands may begin to tremble slightly as your motor cortex primes for rapid response. This is your sympathetic nervous system activating. It genuinely believes you are about to be hunted by an apex predator. Your enhanced focus on that spreadsheet is not a gift from the coffee bean. It is your ancient survival circuitry preparing your body for immediate physical combat or escape. You have weaponized your own survival instincts to answer emails. The productivity boost you experience is not additional energy being generated. It is your body cannibalizing its own reserves because it believes its life is in danger. You are burning through glucose stores and stress hormone reserves that were meant to be used sparingly in genuine emergencies. 400 milligrams of caffeine per day is the maximum daily intake recommended by most health agencies. This is roughly 4 standard 8-ounce cups of brewed coffee. Past this threshold, the receptor blockade becomes so absolute and the adrenaline floods so severe that the central nervous system begins to structurally malfunction. Think of it as pushing too much electrical voltage through delicate wiring. The circuitry was not designed to handle this level of current, so the physical hardware begins to shake. Your hands tremble, not from cold, not from low blood sugar, but because your motor neurons are firing in chaotic, uncoordinated patterns under the influence of excessive stimulation. Your heart races irregularly. You sweat without physical exertion. Your body is trying to cool itself down from a perceived physical threat that does not exist. You may feel chest tightness as your cardiovascular system operates at elevated pressure with no actual demand for increased output. Your thoughts begin to fragment and scatter. Anxiety spikes without external cause because your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, is being chemically instructed that you are in danger. These are not sub effects. These are primary effects. Your hands are shaking because you have authorized an adrenaline release specifically designed for physical combat, and you are currently sitting motionless in an ergonomic desk chair. The engine is vibrating violently against its mounts because you have floored the accelerator while the vehicle remains in park. The jitters are not a sign of extra productivity. They are a visible symptom of a central nervous system attempting to coordinate survival-level motor responses with zero actual physical threat to respond to. The system is tearing itself apart, trying to reconcile the chemical instructions it has received with the physical reality it occupies. Your biology is preparing to fight or flee, and you are asking it to type an email instead. Caffeine has a half-life of approximately 5 to 6 hours in the average human liver. This means that 6 hours after consumption, roughly half of the caffeine molecules have been dismantled and cleared from your system. The liver has been working continuously to metabolize and break down these foreign molecules, converting them into inactive compounds that can be excreted. As the liver slowly processes and breaks down each caffeine molecule, those fake keys are gradually pulled out of the receptor locks. And the moment a receptor becomes unblocked, all the adenosine that has been accumulating for the past 6 hours immediately floods in and binds. The blindfold comes off. The brain suddenly sees the full extent of the metabolic waste that has been piling up undetected. And it does not see it gradually. It sees it all at once. This is what people call the crash. It is not a mysterious punishment. It is not your body being cruel or ungrateful. It is simply the invoice for the last 6 hours coming due in a single transaction. The facility finally detects the accumulated toxic waste on the factory floor, and it immediately initiates an emergency, non-negotiable shutdown sequence. The exhaustion you feel is not new tiredness being created. It is the original tiredness that was always there, plus all the additional tiredness you generated while operating blind, delivered to your conscious awareness simultaneously. The debt compounds. You were tired at 8 in the morning. You blocked that signal. You continued working. You generated 6 more hours of adenosine. Now, at 2 in the afternoon, you are experiencing 8-hour tiredness and 6-hour tiredness at the same time. You took out a loan against your own alertness. The loan has matured. The debt is now being collected with interest. So, 400 milligrams of caffeine does not energize your brain. It does not provide fuel. It does not create capacity that was not already present in your nervous system. It jams the brain's exhaustion detection system, triggers a false emergency response in your adrenal glands, floods your body with stress hormones designed for physical survival scenarios, and then, several hours later, removes the blockade and forces you to experience all the accumulated fatigue you were temporarily prevented from perceiving. Caffeine does not grant you free energy. It is a high-interest loan taken out against your own central nervous system, and the accounting department always collects. Every single time. Enjoy your latte. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and drop a comment. See you on the next one.